Welcome along, everyone. This is the Tier 1 race for the brand new season of IRC F1. We're very excited today. It's going to be very interesting because we already had, I think, three more tiers already had their races. There have been very exciting battles throughout the different tiers, and now we reach the most important tier, you could say, of the F1 season here. Tier 1, the fastest guys throughout in our community, going to be battling out in Austria today for the round one. So yeah, we're really excited. What about you, Alphabot? Let us know what you feel about this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting. The tier 2 race that I raced in yesterday was surely really exciting. There was a lot of contact and it was a little dirty, but overall the race was great. And if we get something along those lines today, I think we're in for a treat, especially with the faster tier 1 drivers.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to see some really edge of the line action here because these guys will be pushing it absolutely. I mean, no offense to the other tiers, but this tier is supposed to be the fastest. This tier is supposed to be the most, let's say, on the line in terms of racing as well. So we hope to see some clean racing today, no dirty tactics or anything like that. But the most important things is we have some form of entertainment for today's race, and the drivers will enjoy it as well. So we're just waiting right now for the lobby to be set up, and we're going to go to quali really soon. Before quali starts, I want to know if you have any favorites today, Alpha. Because they are really fast drivers this season, especially because last season was quite hectic in terms of like some fast drivers opting in and opting out of the permanent seats. So you could see some bigger drivers, you could say, in some races, whereas in some races the field was not as close. But this time around, there are a lot of amazing drivers here. So, if do you have any favorites for today?
I last season almost every time I went with Black Sheep because in raw pace he's just unmatched. He was unmatched at least last season. So I and but SD did get some shock poles last season. I think, and even Moto Moto, if his time trial lap is anything to go by, it could be. I think those three are my favorites: SD, Moto, and Black Sheep. I'm putting my money on those three.
All right. Before we jump in, we have some hot laps to show you as well, and so we're going to cue you in right now for those hot laps and track guides. So we'll meet you back once they're done. Amazing track here. Turn three with the highest elevation point is going to see on the line battling throughout all the corners because pretty much every corner is gonna guarantee some sort of exciting racing. Uh,
Alright then, a lap of the Styrian Grand Prix circuit, the Red Bull Ring, heading down to turn 1. You're braking just before the 100-meter marker, turning in, holding fourth gear. Important all throughout this circuit to carry as much momentum as possible. Heading now down through turn 2. It's just a long sweeping corner up to turn 3, uphill braking points. So you can brake quite late without locking up the wheels. Turn in, all about getting the traction down here. So you'll see drivers short shifting up through the gears through 6th, 7th, all the way up to 8th gear before we come to the downhill braking zone of turn 4. The track drops away, so it's very important to manage your brake pressure here because too much and you may lock up. Use all the track limit on the outside, but don't push the driver off. Turn 5, turn in at the 50-meter marker, hug the inside apex, use as much of the outside as you possibly can. Turn 6, same strategy. Don't use too much of the exit curb here as you may invalidate your lap through turn 7 as well. Now coming down to the final couple of corners, throw it into the fast right. Important to use as much track as possible here. Same for the final corner. You can run a little bit wide on exit, and that is the lap of the Red Bull Ring.
and we're back after seeing that exciting hot lap for Austria. Uh, it's probably one of my favorite tracks, if not my favorite track here, because it's a very short and sweet track where you go flat out through every corner. There's like 12 corners, I think, and so the lap time is very short, but the racing is very, very, very hot. So today we have some exciting drivers. We have one of the recent favorites emerging in terms of Amit Banatwala, Banat, who did some really good homework before joining into the season, because he was the tier two driver last season, but he found some really good pace, and so he could show enough of that pace to get into tier 1 now. As we see, we hop into the server. I think the call is about to begin. Yep.
I unfortunately have to say I'm not putting Banath up there, at least for the first few races, as he gets to grips with Tier 1 and gets higher pace. But I guess we can be we can be surprised. I
Yep.
I don't think he has the pace, just like the raw pace of the other drivers who've been at it for 6, 7 seasons. But yeah,
Yep, definitely. Well, he did find some pace, but the biggest thing will be the racecraft in this track, especially because penalties are going to be the biggest talking point at the end of the race. Once the penalties are settled, that's what's going to be defining who's going to win this race, or who's going to get those important positions. But right now we see the quali begin. Oh, it's almost a minute into the quali here. We see onboard Moto Moto on the hands, already on his hot lap, his first hot lap. Seems to be pushing it already, and you need to, because you need to get that track experience quite early on, because once you get to the end of the season, you need to be absolutely perfect in terms of knowing the grip quality and so on and so such. So you need to know how much you can push at the final stint of
and he
quali.
backs out of his lap. I don't know if he backed out as a precaution from the driver ahead, or did he invalidate his lap?
It seems to be invalidated, as we see on the track map there. Is going into another hot lap, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. We could find an onboard. Meanwhile, Oxygen goes fastest with a 1:11.903. That's definitely not representative. No matter what, I think we're gonna see low threes coming into this track. That's what I believe. I haven't played this track much, but from the lap times, we're seeing low threes are possibility.
From
See,
what,
watching.
from what Envy's time trial shows, he's like 103.1. Like he's, according to the time trial, he's the fastest driver on the grid. So if he can convert that into real quali pace, then that would be stunning, because it's, I think, his first season in the league, and he can take tier 1 pole on his first race. That would be really
Yep.
impressive.
Yep, definitely. Envy was also one of the bigger talking points. Many people are putting him to get a pole and actually pull away because of his just raw pace he showed in the time trial session. We see Moto Moto go 104 flat. That's more like it. That's more representative of the pace, I would say. So yeah, Dwajin is a newcomer into tier 1. I think he's still finding his feet. He's not with the top guys in terms of pace yet. But yeah, he just needs to get some experience in these first few races and just to practice a bit more, and so he could get closer to that field. Meanwhile, we see onboard Banath here.
He's
Let's
just
see what
starting
lap-
his second lap, I think. I think he might have invalidated his first one.
Yep.
Oh, and I
Uh,
think he invalidated that one too.
yep. The small mistake by Banath there, and turn 1 he invalidates his second lap as well.
And
We see.
Oxygen is also on an invalidated lap, so invalidations is really easy around here, especially going into turn 1, and also if you if you run wide through any of the middle sector corners.
Yep, definitely. We see Ashtray here. I think he's on his second lap, or maybe it's his in lap. Oh, that's a big mess of a corner on the turn 1. A big squirrel exit, so he lets off the gas there, and let's see other drivers pass by. Uh, okay, let's see. Akash is on mediums with what is it, 104.4, I think. That's a very interesting stat. Mediums, I don't know if they're a good alternate strategy here to go with the mediums in the first stint. What do you think, Alpha?
I think what Akash is doing might pay off, maybe with a late safety car, but as it's not China, it's really not China. You can't make an alternative strat work 100% of the time. You need to hope something. You need to hope to get lucky, because overtaking around here is definitely not the easiest thing. Especially because there are so many corners that there are so many DRS straights. You normally just get stuck in a DRS train, even if the car ahead of you has slower tires. So it might not pay off, it might pay off, but he's taking a gamble, and he's set a 104.5 on the slower compound, which is definitely respectable time.
Yep. Now it shows he's on soft, so maybe switched over to them now to try to set the lap on soft. So maybe switching the strategies already. Now we go onward Banata once again. So he's finally trying to put in a representative lap that is not invalidated. Let's see what lap time he does. He does a 104.8, which is quite decent enough to put him in the top 5, but I expect those times to come down a lot more. Maybe a 103.5 we could expect. I think 103 lows are going to be really, really tough unless they practice really heavily. From my experience, this track is particularly hard to hook up the lab in this. Oh, that's a big mess by Kapiles. It's a big mess that
Luckily, he
completely.
got out of the barriers and he can continue. So, do you have any favorites?
For me, I think Moto is a good choice to have because he's always been consistent in the past seasons as well.
And
Um,
Moto is putting on the mediums. I don't know if he is so confident that he can beat the 104 flat on the mediums. If he can, I think that would be amazing. At that point, starting from the top of the grid, you can probably make up a few seconds on the alternate strategy. But if you're already starting behind, it's really not that great.
Yep, we see Harry Rocks here squeezed quite a bit off pace. We see the field being stretched out quite a bit. He's on an invalidated lap right now, but yeah, we come talking about back to Moto Moto there, switching over to mediums, but he has to pull in some banger of a lap to exceed his soft run with the 104.055. He has to do some good lap time to exceed that if he's trying to switch over to the mediums for his strategy. Meanwhile, we see Aradhya Gupta here in the McLaren. He's trying to set his time. He's not yet set the time. Let's see what lap time he does here. Coming into the
And
last few corners.
and just letting you guys know, tier 1 is a no ABS tier, so turn 1 can go horribly wrong if someone tries some late braking tactics.
Yep, that's one of the talking points as well. Once again, we say uh, because ABS is quite new for some people here. Some people have actually sacrificed a bit of their pace because they could be much faster, but still they wanted to get into tier 1, so they sacrificed their pace, and so they had to get into tier 1 without ABS. And yeah, turn 1 is going to be very interesting, especially if people are not attentive enough to the start. We can see some mess or some sort of incidents popping up here and there throughout the first lap, I would say. We see Kubarabi completing his lap, going P2. Very good lap there from Kubarabi. The usual suspects taking the top positions. I think all the top 3 is what I looked for in terms of the positions in quali. Let's see what other front runners might be doing. Maybe someone like Real SD or Helium. Let's say Helium. He is a very fast driver, but obviously he had to disable his ABS as well to get it to gear. So he's a big question mark because he can be quite fast from my experience racing with him. Yep, you see Moto Moto on mediums on his first lap, I think on the tires. Let's see what lap time he does there.
But the thing about mediums is I wouldn't take it out early, because to have a chance at beating your soft times, you really need the track evolution, which is really good around Austria. So if I think if he will beat his soft time, it'll be closer to the end of the
Yep,
session.
yep, definitely. But he He wanted to go right now to not really at the end of the session. So maybe he has some pace, or maybe he's just trying to be busy on track, not just sitting in the garage. So he's using those tires. It's gonna be interesting to see what he does there. See, Helium here didn't yet set lap time. That's very interesting. He's on mediums as well.
And I think he's just not confident that he has the pace, so he's just gonna go for the alternate strat. If you're confident that you
Oh, that's a
oh
big mess once again.
but
As I said,
that's
mess for the third
same.
time. Yep, Helium completely overstepped the mark there and spun out. So medium's just not gripping up enough for these drivers to get on top of the traction. Oh, we
Oh,
see.
and someone had had a front wing flying. What?
Yeah, I think they had contact with someone else. Kapil had contact with someone else, maybe. Or
I
maybe
don't know.
not. Yeah, he had his front wing off a bit, so he definitely has some trouble. So he has to come into the pits. And we here coming into the pits, keeping out of the way of the runners of Hotlap. Yep, and we still need to find some pace from if what the time trial seems to suggest. But let's see, let's see. There's still 7 minutes left, so we're almost halfway there in terms of quali. Everyone peeling into the pits now to sort of get ready for the final run, sort of final run to get their position set for the race.
I'm really surprised that if you look, several people have put on the mediums and are going out right now. I don't know what they're doing. I honestly wouldn't recommend it after driving yesterday. I did crash out during quali, so I did start on the mediums. It's a really good race tire, but you're not saving a lot of time against the softs, especially towards the end of the race.
Yep, definitely. Alternate strategy can be a good thing on this track from my experience as well, but you really need a virtual safety car or safety car to really maximize that the time loss you would have otherwise. Because
Yeah.
mediums do have some delta difference, even though it's a short track. Especially if you're fighting a very close battle with someone else, mediums are just not the way to go in terms of that battle.
And I think Moto Moto has realized that dropping his mediums after that first lap or two.
Yep, I think he just didn't have the pace on those mediums. It's very hard these tires to get the grip and to do that lap time he did on softs. Even considering the track evolution, I don't think it's they're fast enough to exceed his time he did on softs.
And I don't know if it's like a couple-esque trait, but he always goes for his laps at like the last 4 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good thing actually because
Oh, Moto Moto. Okay, that's his outlap, thank God. Otherwise, it would have been impeding by his own teammate, and that wouldn't have been great.
yeah, that would have been very ugly. Uh, but yeah, he's on softs again, I think. Yeah, he's on softs. Let's see what lap time he does.
Oh, I
Oh,
think that's an invalidation.
yep, that's an
Yeah.
invalidation. He cut the turn one a bit too much. He took a bit too much of the curb. So, yep, we see Haas in P1, so that's interesting.
So can
Uh,
we jump onto Kubarabi to see if he's on a lap?
yep, see
He
Cuba.
is. Yeah. Let's see how his middle sector is looking.
Yeah, he's one of the front runners, definitely one of the favorites, I would say, for this race and for the entire season, pretty much, because he is the champion of Tier-1, forget not. So he definitely has enough pace to legitimize his position in the top positions here.
Yeah.
You see him coming through the final few corners. Let's see what lap time he does. I didn't see the delta.
Oh, that's an invalidation on the last
Yep.
corner.
He went a bit too wide on the last corner onto the curbs and invalidated his lap.
Would have been a hundredth away from provisional pole had that not been invalidated.
That's very close then. To see Aradhya
Arad-
Gupta absolutely throwing it into the final few corners. What lap time does he do? Oh, he's on mediums and he does a 1:03, I think.
That's really. Oh, Envy setting his times now. Times start coming tumbling,
Yep.
especially from Envy.
Yeah, definitely. That's what he said previously as well. And we being the favorite in terms of
And
quali
Helium
pace.
putting in a great lap. Was that so on the mediums?
Yeah, it was on mediums.
So
Oh,
a 104-1 on the mediums. If you can start on the top with mediums, you
That's
can
a-
definitely put out.
Yep.
Not pull out. Sorry, you can definitely catch up in the end.
Yeah, one of the big things is if you're starting in top positions with the alternate strategy, the good thing is do not get caught up with incidents as well because as long as you do mediums, if you're in the low position, you can definitely get caught up in some battles you did not want to get caught up in and lose in front weighing or just lose too much time in your strategy. So it's not an ideal thing. But Helium here did an amazing lap on 4-1, I should say. So yep, let's see what Moto Moto, Oxygen, all these guys have in response. They're still, I think they're still their final runs to be completed yet.
I
We see.
think Danish is going for a flyer. I don't know how much he is up right now. Okay, this is his first lap, so there's no delta of his previous laps. So let's see if he can post a decent lap time somewhere around the top.
Yep, Tanish is an extremely fast driver. I would say he's very near to the one of the guys who's nearer to
And
the
that's a 103.9, I
nine.
think.
Yep, 9 or 4 flat once again. Uh, that's an incredible time there from Tanish. Definitely one of the front runners. He has to be a bit more consistent this season, I would say. Past 2 seasons did not fare well for him. He has to be a bit more consistent in races, but let's see what he's going to do if he does end up starting in P2. Uh, I think with 2 minutes to go in quali, so these will be the final few runs for the drivers. All the top guys are either in pits or on their hot laps now. So let's see what's gonna happen. You see, I think that's the Banat going on his hot lap on the softs. See what lap time he does. I think this might be his final time, or maybe he can do one more time. I think once
But
he reaches the
if he does improve here, I doubt he's gonna go for another because it's burning out the soft, something which is definitely just not worth it.
yeah,
And I
that
think
was
SD is abandoned his lap and he's prepping for his second lap on the tires. Other than that, who else is on? Tanish, I think, is on another flyer. I'm not sure.
well, the screen is a bit. I can't see the screen that much, but you see Banat peeling off the pits. Oh, that's interesting. So he does not want to start in top 10.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So he might
So,
go for the alternate strategy.
yeah, I mean, definitely, if you're starting outside the top 10, it is a few seconds faster. It's not much faster, but you will definitely make up some time.
So you see Helium do a 401. I think he might have been, but he's going for another run.
And Tanish, I think he's gonna go for another lap on these tires, or maybe he's peeling into the pits. Yeah, okay, Tanish is done.
Yep,
P2
Tanish
is
is
good
good.
enough for him.
Yep,
Other than that, I think Wilster G is still out, but he's on the medium, so I doubt he'll improve.
yep. So the top. Oh, someone
And
improved.
Kapil
Kapil.
is. Oh,
Kapil
Kapil.
improved to P3.
Yeah,
That's
Kapil just sending it.
yep on the soft tires.
Is he
Very
gonna
good.
go for another one?
No, he's done. The checkered flag has fallen for him. So the top 6 are done with their lap times.
I think
Wilsa is in the,
everyone's done.
yep, everyone's done at this point. So these are the final positions you could say, unless someone has a penalty or something which we did not see. These will be the positions. NV on pole for Tier 1, Race 1 of Season 8.
Really
Very
impressive
interesting.
stuff from NV coming into tier 1 from not being in the league and then posting a pole time on
His
race
first
1.
race as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very, very commendable
Uh,
for NV.
One sec. 8sil, can I please just ask you to look at one of the chats on Discord?
Yep, will do.
You see here NV on pole, Tanesh on P2, Kapil on P3, Moto on P4, SD on P5, Helium P6, Wilsters P7, Akash P8, Oxygen P9, and another Akash, the Akash with the capitals on P10. So these are the top 10 for your race. Let's see what's gonna happen. Race will be it's gonna be very interesting. We just have to hope that there's going to be no lobby restarts or anything of that sort. Hope that the Codemaster gods have blessed us with some clean lobbies this time around. It's been a big talking point throughout the entire last 3 years. The lobbies have not been good enough, but hopefully these are good enough for this time around.
And
Let's
Kaushik, uh, do you have? So, do you think Envy has it in him to pull away, or do you think he'll be fighting and maybe end up dropping a position or two?
I really can't say, to be honest, because we don't know what amount of practice he's done. Has he done only M trial practice, or he actually done some
In
Grand Prix
the
modes?
eval races with every driver from every different tier, he finished 45 seconds ahead of the pack. So, if that's something to go by, I think we're in for a
Oh,
domination.
oh, that might be very interesting. But I don't think he has that luxury because we have stronger drivers. I think this time around in Tier 1 in terms of Moto Moto and Oxygen and Kubarabi as well. So they might put up a good fight for him. Let's see. But he's definitely the favorite for this race, I would say.
Yeah. I think there's always couple and SD to pull something out of their bags, but again, like I was saying earlier, I just don't think Banat can cut it in this tier. At the top of the field, I think he'll be around the midfield. What do you think?
It's fine for him. I think it's his first race in top tier, so it's fine for him. He's done some practice as well. As long as he does not accumulate much penalties, he can massively benefit. That's the biggest thing. Even if you're the fastest guy, this could apply for NV as well. Even if you're the fastest guy, you need to have that racecraft, and most importantly, not get those penalties, especially on this track. Just no
Uh,
penalties.
Banat does have some surprisingly good racecraft, so if he can use that to his advantage, then we can be see some Banat specialty.
Yep,
Uh,
definitely.
So, okay, let's make some pre-race season predictions.
Uh, For me, I think Envy is gonna win. Moto Moto P2 maybe and Oxygen P3. That's what I'm aiming for.
For that's for the whole season 8, right?
Yeah, why not? As we
I would
see,
think it's yeah, I would say I put my money on Kapil or SD, one of the more experienced guys. Second in Envy and third in Moto Moto.
as we see the
And
five lights being
sorry, no, as we see the formation lap
oh sorry, yeah.
starting, yeah.
So the formation lap here, the everyone has to get their temperatures right for their tires. It's gonna be very important for them, especially the top guys. They need to have one not get involved in any sort of instance. Let's see
Yeah.
what strategies they employ in the first stint as well.
And Dwajan and Aradhya got touched wheels on the first
Yeah, might have been.
formation lap, and that's disqualification from the formation lap for them.
They're going to be in a massive disadvantage for the start because their tire's going to be very cold.
Yeah, but
It's
it's looking very cloudy. If we do see some rain, that would really change things up.
yeah, that's what I was looking as
Do you
well.
have telemetry, 8 if you could pull up any weather predictions or something along those lines, if telemetry is running?
As we see, and we hear warming of the tires. We get the info that telemetry is actually not available for this race. Uh, it's fine. You don't need that. I think we can get along with the race fine even
We'll take
without
it
that.
as we goes. We will
Yeah,
take it as it goes then.
just involve ourselves with the thrill as well, not knowing what strategy is going to be playing or what the weather is going to be playing out in this race.
Oh wait,
Just
potentially I think the drivers might have known that there might be race coming and then they put on a slower setup, because I thought 103 mids to 103 lows would have easily been done. Maybe.
the thing is, this track is very hard in terms of hooking up the lap. Even last season, a lot of the top drivers, like top drivers, like Amit himself, has did not do good lap times, even though they were like second, almost a second faster in the lap times they did in the actual session. So this track is very hard to get to lose those nerves and get that lap time right. But right now, our focus is on the red lights. As we see the red lights start off and then go off again. Let's wait for the red lights to come on here for the beginning of season 1. So, sorry, season 8 of Tier 1 in F1 here.
That's 5 lights, and away we go. Envy getting a good start, getting a good phase 1, pulling away, and that's Kapil Ace taking Tanish into turn 1. And is there any turn 1 drama? I don't think so. Some people running wide though. I don't think there was any contact. Oh, there is contact. Akash Sonawane dropping like a stone down through the field. I don't know what
Envy is
happened to
looking
him.
very comfortable here. He has a good lead and Kapil could not attack into turn 3. Envy has got it for the first phase of lap 1. Let's see what's going
And
to happen.
that's Moto Moto also dropping. Can you go on board Moto Moto and Akash? Oh, Moto Moto stranded on the road. I think he might have gone too deep and maybe hit someone.
Yeah, he might have been involved with someone incident. Oh, that's Banath going off the track as well. So it's not been a good lap 1 for both the Haas cars. He might have damage as well. Banath is going really, really slow.
Banath going safe, maybe damaged. Maybe a damaged car.
A few
I think
people might have damage as well. Yeah.
getting into the pits. Yeah. So their race without a safety car is pretty much done. And I think that's
Oxygen pulling into the pit, so he might have damage as well.
yeah.
That's very unfortunate for him. He's one of the top runners. As we see Wilster harassing Real SD here. As we go into lap 2, Envy has a 4/10 advantage, but right. Oh, that's.
Oh wait, that's
Akash.
Akash. That is, both the Red Bulls, both the Red Bulls have fallen down through the field, and Real SD is 4 seconds off the lead duo. I don't know what happened there. I don't know how the lead duo pulled off so much.
Yeah, they pulled off in first lap itself. Kapil had, I think, 2-second advantage coming out of lap 4. So as we see Aradhya Gupta here involved in some maneuvers, that's very interesting. He could not complete the pass there on Ashray, but yeah, he drops in behind Ashray here.
I think he knew he didn't want it to be a Hamilton Albon, so I think he took it safe.
Yep, Ashray going a bit wide there, and Aradhya is cutting back a bit. Let's see what's gonna happen. But as of right now, Envy and Kapil seems to be very close. But Real SD a bit too far away for them to get involved in that fight.
And Wilster picking it up, especially because he's on the mediums, a slower compound, and he's still making them work compared to the other people's softs. If you can ride on board the, I don't think anyone has penalties right now.
Oh, Wilster here. Oh, that's very close.
Almost. Oh, whoa! Some really high-class racing from Wilster.
Yeah, I thought they almost touched there, but they didn't. So very, very good sportsmanship there from both of them. We see Ashray getting past Aradhya Gupta, or maybe defending against him, and Kuberabi. Wait, Kuberabi started P4, right? If I'm correctly.
I think so. I don't know. He might.
Yeah,
have
so he dropped back a bit. So he maybe got caught up in lap 1 or something like that. Kuberabi has some work cut out for him.
Banath has dropped through the field. I don't know if he had penalty or what. Sorry, not penalty. He had damage.
I think he pit as well from the damage we saw in lap 1 perhaps. That's why he came out behind Oxygen.
And the lead duo further pulling away from the rest of the field.
Yep, Tanish needs to get past.
Going to make a move on Envy. Can we get right on board Kapil? No, he sticks behind for the time being, but maybe into turn 4.
Real SD, I think Tanish and Helium need to get past Real SD. They are the one of the fastest guys on this grid. Oh, we see Tanish. They are doing exactly what I said.
Tanish getting past Real SD.
Yep, that's what he needs to do to get chasing those top 2 and have any chance of getting that victory. He needs to do that move right now, and he did that. Let's see what Helium does, because he was fast in quali. Let's see what he does. But Real SD is a bottleneck for these guys behind. But he needs to pull some pace to get on top of his situation.
Yeah, I think. Oh wait, yellow flags.
That's Alfa Romeo. Yeah, that's Alfa Romeo. Harry, I think, spun in turn 3, perhaps. That's not been a.
And can we talk about Kapil again getting past Envy on the straight? Let's see if he can make the moves, take into
I think that's
turn
it. I think he's
medium,
done it.
or is Envy gonna send? No, Envy is gonna let him pass, but
Yep,
preparing a good exit into the next turn.
he's got the DRS now.
Yeah, he's got
Oh,
the.
Is he gonna have the overspeed on him to get the
I
move
don't think.
done?
I don't think he's close enough for this one.
Yep, he's not close enough. Kapil got the move done into P1 and is in the lead now. He has to produce some amazing pace here to keep up with Envy and not get him repassed here. Let's see what Real SD does here. He's actually sitting behind Tanish. So he might have some pace, but maybe made a few mistakes that dropped him so much. Dwajin went wide with there as head on board. Moto Moto trying to come back after his horrible lap 1. Yeah, lot of guys in the back foot in the initial phase of the race. Still right on Moto Moto there. We'll look back at Helium. I think they've settled in. Oh, Helium goes really wide. He might have missed just the braking. That's the ABS we're talking about.
And I think Wilster might be getting past Helium here if he said no. I think he's still too far behind.
Yep.
Wilster making the mediums really work in these first few laps, and I think
Oh,
within the
Envy,
next 3 laps it'll be
Envy
faster.
getting past Kapil. Yep. You see Envy getting past Kapil here, so he's back into the lead. He might have used the DRS into turn 4 and got the move done again. So now Kapil has to keep up with Envy now and make sure he can repass him again, just as he did a lap before. But yeah, there's the rest of the top the 4 guys seems to be stuck in a DRS train. As we see Moto getting past Dwajin. That's a very crucial move for him. He needs to get in here so he need to have any chance of catching those positions again. But as I said, Tanish, SD, Helium and Winster all seem to walk into a DRS train. Maybe Helium is looking for a move here on perhaps, but thinks otherwise, so he stays behind him. Winster has always been the alternate start guy, even in season 5, I believe. We see
and
Helium.
SD squeezing Helium, but SD is sticking it down the inside in the corner and staying in front. But maybe another move from Helium in this straight. I think he might be close enough. If he is, that would be a move that will stick for the rest of the lap.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think SD had DRS as well, so he could not get moved.
Yeah.
But we see Kubarabi getting past maybe Austria here once again. They seem to be locked into a battle as well. So there's a lot of groups forming already in this race,
And
locked
we see
into
the
their own
first
battles.
penalty of the race coming from Harry Rox's side, whose race isn't going ideal, can I say, right now, down in 19th position.
Yep, definitely. You see SD going really wide. He's actually making a lot of mistakes, costing Helium a lot of time. So Helium is trying to get past here into turn 1 and he I think. And reminder that Helium is actually on medium. Actually, I don't remember him being on mediums. That was my fault, man. But Wilster is on mediums as well, so he's behind SD. Let's see if SD can repass Helium.
Ashtray falling down. I don't know. It may have been in contact with someone.
Yep, Ashtray and Kubarabi were in a battle, so they might have had contact perhaps.
And Dawn going into the wall,
Oh,
but staying, just still being.
he might have had damage actually. I don't know. Might have had damage. Dawn, one of the dark horses, you could say, because I think he got a new wheel. Yeah, that's
he has
definitely damage.
full damage. He has
Yep.
no front wing right now.
He was a dark horse for me at least because he got a new wheel I think recently, so he was practicing a bit more and actually gained a lot of pace in this game. But yeah, not ideal for Dawn there. Very sad incident for him. You see Wilster harassing SD now.
I don't know if something is wrong with SD's car because this is surprisingly slow pace for SD, being all the way up there in quali.
Yeah, I think his pace is there, but he's just making a lot of mistakes, perhaps. Especially with the ABS off, or especially
And there's
Dawn.
double waved yellows. I don't know for who it was.
I think it might be for Dawn once again because he got the penalty at the same time too.
Oh,
It might be
10
Dawn.
second penalty.
Yep, it might be Dawn. As we see, SD dropped back into positions since we were talking then. SD really struggling in this race to be honest. Moto Moto going a bit wide there, but Virgin actually surprisingly hanging on to Moto. Very interesting because Moto is supposed to be the one with massive pace advantage, but Virgin seems to be hanging on to Moto Moto, so he might use him to drag forwards.
And Helium, after getting past SD, has caught up to Tanish, while SD has not been having the best race of his career, dropping down to P7 from a high of P3.
We see Kapil got DRS once again. I think he might pass NV for the lead once again, and he does so for into turn 3. NV just choosing to not fight back that much. Oh, Kapil goes wide.
Oh, they're
That's a
getting
big
spin kick.
contact.
Oh
That's a
my
very
god,
big contact.
that was so close.
Yeah, I think they might have damage maybe. I don't know. Kapil seemed to have moved over a bit more aggressively than I thought.
I don't think Envy has any damage, and I doubt
Yeah,
Kapil has.
hopefully not.
Uh, from how his front wing looked, I don't think as Envy has any damage. So lucky for him.
Tanish drops back behind Helium. Interesting.
Helium showing his great pace. I think
Yep.
now Helium is on mediums. That's why
Yeah,
he's
he's
picking
on
up
middle.
the
Yep.
pace now.
It's lap 10, so I think softs are starting to drop off a bit.
Softs are
Yes.
definitely slower than the mediums by now.
Yep.
So
Tanish just needs to hang on. Oh, Dwajan gets a time penalty, and Tanish gets a time
also gets
penalty.
time penalty.
Interesting. We see Kubarabi here now behind SD. SD probably has to drop back one more position. Looking at what we're seeing on screen right now, he seems to be having the faster pace. But yep, SD is struggling with aging softs and also with a lack of pace in general. Yep, Kubarabi got past SD there, and SD now ahead of Valent Gandhi. But
I think I might have seen a missing end plate for SD. I'm not
that might
sure.
that might explain his pace deficit, to be honest. Meanwhile, Tanish and Helium actually swapped positions and re-swapped once again.
No, he has both of his end plates. I don't think it's that then.
Yeah, so it's not damaged. So yep, so that's definitely might be in this pace differential. And oh, he's getting past once again here as well. That's a very unusual place to get past unless you had a horrible exit. SD seem to have had into turn 6, I think, turn 7.
Yeah.
And now Dipanshu, aka No More Pro Player, is behind SD trying to pass him.
And SD getting a penalty and getting all out of shape from this corner too. I don't know what's going on with SD. And Ashray again falling down the pack. I don't know if he had another contact with someone.
Oh, that's very close racing between Dipanshu and Real SD there, but Real SD seems to have hedged forward and avoided contact. But meanwhile, as we were talking, Kapil actually got the lead once again, or actually, he actually kept the lead. I think.
And real props to Moto, dropping from, I think he was like 8 seconds behind the field, coming all the way back up into P10 and not even far off from the lead packs.
Yep. Oh, SD being a real blockade for No More Pro Player. You could visibly see the SD.
Propi having the mediums has so much more grip right now and so much better exit speed and grip into the corner, so he can take SD into pretty much any corner that he wants to.
Yep, SD already dropping
And
a lot of.
Tanish pits for his set of mediums. That's
Yeah, I think
really
this.
early. And Kapil getting passed by Envy and might be trying to get past Envy again. No, sticking behind Envy. This has been a really great battle for the lead for the past 12 laps.
Kapil actually did his homework. Very surprising because last season he actually came into races without any practice and just enjoyed them. But this time around he seems to have done his homework in terms of hooking up those practice laps. And so he's right on pace with Envy here. So they seem to be favorite to get the win, but we might never know. With a late safety car, it might all change.
I think if there's a safety car in the next 3 laps, that rules out all of the medium runners from any chance of getting a win or a podium or anything, because then they would have to go into the hards, which is a horrible race tire.
Yeah, definitely. You see, who's that? Ashray coming out of pits here, so into P18. I think he spun previously. We saw him, so not a good race for him. Don, Harry, Banat, all these guys had seem to have some good potential, but bit of a chokehold for them for this race. As we see someone spun around. Who was that? I think it's a Williams. I think.
I'm not sure. I didn't see.
Yeah, I think that was Don spun around into turn one, facing opposite direction. So yeah, it's going horribly for him. I think as you can see in the interval, Don is 24 seconds behind P18. So yeah, just a horrible race for Don there. Yeah, nothing more to say for that. As we see, Arajya Gupta actually staying behind Winster, so he might actually have some chance of good points this race as well. Meanwhile, Helium seems to have dropped some pace. Winster caught up with Helium, so that's very interesting. You see, Winster actually getting DRS, so he might actually pass. Helium, I think he's making a bit of mistakes with the braking, especially. We saw him lock up a few too many times into turn one, so very interesting there. And
Might have flat spotted his tires.
yep, definitely. Aradhya.
And
Just
a double wave yellow. I think SD has fallen down on the order. I don't know what's happened with SD. Can we ride on board SD?
he's actually in the pit, so maybe not him.
Oh,
Or maybe it is. He's behind Harry now. Oh, or Banat actually. That's very interesting. Banat,
No, I think that's just his pit window.
yeah, Banat going wide there, and is he trying to capitalize, but no use. Meanwhile, we see NV peeling into the pits. The first actually, Kapil actually come to the pits as well. Maybe. No. Kapil actually
stayed out. Yeah.
Yep. So Kapil choosing to go to overcut and not pitting behind
Kapil's
NV
gonna
there.
dump his ERS on this lap.
Yeah, definitely. He's on 52% as we see ERS, but let's see what is going to be before he pits. He needs to push the maximum now to keep to not get a good overcut. Oh, to see massive battle, the 4-car battle, and I think that's Helium ghosting through these cars, or not actually Helium, the lap car ghosting through there. Helium actually is in front, and Aradhya Gupta gets in front of Winster there. Interesting. Aradhya Gupta was the bystander looking at the battle between Helium and Winster, but now he's ahead of Winster. So now he'll go ahead and try to fight with Helium now. Let's see what Kapil does on his in-lap here. If he had made up enough time to cover up Envy's undercut attempt, and oh no, he's actually going for another lap. That's very interesting for Kapil there. He's going to have some good tire advantage at the end of the race, but that's some really bold strategy from Kapil, not choosing to pit once more.
And that's the lapped car of Ashray. And even though he is allowed to unlap himself, staying with the lead cars can get him a hefty penalty because of the dirty air given even by lapped cars.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not actually moving on the way. Maybe he thinks he's fast enough to lap himself, maybe, but he's actually not that good of a job right now. I think he should let these cars go ahead and drop back a bit. He's like 26 seconds behind Akash anyway, so there's no point trying to fight with them and get a penalty at the end of this. As we see Akash Sunavane in the Red Bull.
Harry.
Yep, both the Red Bulls having and went a bit wide there, hopping and skipping over the curve into turn one, and Harry, he passes him. But as I speak, both the Red Bulls having.
I think we should put our sights on Kapil and how he gets out of the pit lane. If he can get in front of Envy, that would be really.
Yeah, but I doubt it's gonna happen because softs mediums might have just enough pace to cut him. But let's see. Kapil now out of the pits and into the pit lane. Let's see where Envy is.
Oh, Envy hitting normal pro player with Dipanshu, and Dipanshu spun around. That is an ideal for Dipanshu.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't think he did get any damage. And Kapil coming out a whole 3.5, 4 seconds behind.
And
And
crucially behind two other cars as well, so he's gonna be held up. So, oh, that's a big blunder from Kapil there. I don't think he had knowledge of where he's gonna end up, but still, yeah, he's gonna have to get past those cars really quickly and catch up to Envy if he has to have any chance like he did in the previous stint to win this race. As you see, Helium in the top three, actually dropping back behind both the McLarens now. I think he might. Okay, not maybe not this lap, but what's the pit window for mediums? I don't know what's the pit window.
yeah, so in the strategy discussions that I've, I've seen, I think it opens around 21 to the people who really want to undercut, and it goes on to 24. So you have a 3 lap window, which is the most ideal time to pit if you're on the mediums to get the best value out of the fresh softs. Otherwise, they start dropping off massively.
Yeah, we see Kapil is getting past. Oh, that's very close for with Varun Gandhi. I don't think they had any wing damage. Still, he got past Varun Gandhi. That very crucial move for Kapil is. He needs
And
to get that move done.
Kapil is 4 seconds off of NV. With only 2 lap fresher tires, I don't think that's a great amount of time he can, a possible amount of time that he can gain back. He might have been the win to NV.
Yeah, we might never know. Kapil might have some pace. He needs to go hammer time right now to show that pace. Catch up to Envy right now because Tanis is gonna pit. Oh, that's a big. Oh, and Helium actually resets. I think that's a auto reset by the game
That's
itself.
not reset by the game.
Yeah, he didn't do anything there.
Yeah,
Helium
he-
spun
he
out. Yeah, very lucky for Helium there. He might not have.
He doesn't,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yep, that's very fortunate for Helium. He actually spun coming into the pit lane, but game decided to reset his car, so he got away with no damage
And
there.
Shastry is definitely getting a hefty penalty for that. There's
Yeah.
no way this is going to be allowed for Shastry, and we
Yeah,
see
definitely.
Bharat getting a penalty. So
Yep.
yeah, Bana still struggling. Even though he has made up some time, even with the alternate strategy, I don't
Can
think.
we see the penalties for these guys? I'm really interested to know what. Yep, we see Q Barabi with 3 seconds, Tanish with 6 seconds of penalty, so it's a big mistake perhaps for Tanish to get so many penalties because I think he was fighting for podium positions, but now looking very slim, those margins. Kapil is almost 3.9 seconds behind him, and Envy is actually pulling away a bit. So not ideal for Kapil to get any chance of winning this race. But Tanish seems to be holding on to Envy and using his DRS to stay. Oh, that's a bit wide, so he might have got warning there. But yeah, Tanish staying with Envy there, using his pace to do some good lap times. Meanwhile,
If
Dwajin.
there, if
Yep, go
there
ahead.
is if there is a safety car for the next any of the time in the next 4 laps, I think that rules out any soft runners from taking the win, because they'll soft starters from taking the win, because then they'll just be hounded by the new soft runners on their worn out mediums.
Yep, definitely. Both the McLaren seems to
And we see
be.
a double wave yellow in sector 2. I don't know if that was Oxygen, Moto, or who.
It might have been Moto actually.
That was Moto.
Yep, that was Moto confirmation from it's in the. That's very unfortunate for Moto. He was actually making good headway. I think he was in P9. But yeah, a small mistake.
Oh, that was really close for.
Yeah, I thought he exceeded
Yeah.
pit lane speed there, but he didn't, so he didn't get any penalty.
I think that's a
Aditya
great
Gupta going
debut.
for an undercut on his teammate on Gunsta. Tanish getting past Envy. That's interesting. Tanish actually did not pit yet, but he's getting past the.
No, I think Anish pitted on like lap 13, so his mediums are 10 laps old or something.
Oh, really? That's very interesting. Oh no, he's 9 lap old tires there, whereas Envy has 5 lap old tires. So Tanish might have gotten a bit of fun. And now he's got past Envy there, so interesting to see what Envy can do. Tanish, I don't think he is in the fight for the lead as we see Aditya getting to Adin. But yeah, Tanish doesn't seem to be in the fight with the lead because he has 6 seconds of penalty. It's a massive amount. So I'm not really hopeful for Tanish in terms of getting that race win. But let's see. That fight is only going to help Kapil. If they fight a bit more, Kapil will be right on their back and game on once again if that happens. Right now it doesn't seem to be. So Wilster pits now. I think he might get overtaken by his teammate who's done the undercut on him, but let's see. Yep, his teammate comes into the pit straight here, going into turn 1. Let's see where both. As we see Envy just behind him. Yep, is a massive undercut there by Aradin on Wilster. So now Wilster has to catch back up, and Envy now getting past Tanish once again. Tanish going a bit too wide there and losing a bit of time, but Envy getting past again. Envy is actually having a good race, to be honest. Even though he's fighting with Tanish, I think is just
he's well clear of Kapil from what we can see here.
Yep, definitely. Why don't you say what's gonna happen? You think safety car is gonna come out, Alpha?
I'd say one safety car. I'm putting it out there. One safety car will come out in the next 13 laps. And if it does, then I think that's a soft GG.
Yeah, definitely. As you say, Oxygen here, quite a bad race, to be honest. I think he pit right now, but it's definitely not going to finish in P15. At least I hope so. But a very poor race. I think he started in top 5 or something like that. But I think he got caught up in an incident, or he might have made some mistake in first few laps and suffering for that right now. Envy finding very good there from Tanish, taking P1.
I think Aradhya, even without a safety car, can maybe potentially finish top 2 if he has some really good laps. And there's contact into that corner.
Helium very late braking, almost breaking into the rear wheels of Kubera B there. That was a very tricky scenario there. Let's hope both don't have any kind of damage, but yeah, not an ideal situation there from both of the drivers. Helium actually got 6 seconds, so he's not looking good for the podium positions or any of the top 5. I think he looked very good at one point, but right now with a lot of penalties and long back from the top positions, not looking that good for Helium. You see Tanish getting a bit squirrely, so he might be experiencing a tire a bit more than Envy, since he pit I think 4 laps before Envy, so yeah, he's definitely suffering a bit more now.
Yeah, and Kapil has just completely been left in the dust by Envy and Tanish. I think undercut was the way to go here, and even though Kapil does have a tire advantage on Envy by just 2 laps, there's no way it can gain 5.5 seconds in 11 laps.
Yep. Tanish actually getting one more penalty, so he's I think in 9 seconds of penalty. Tanish
Yeah, and there's double waved yellows.
That's one of the.
Oh, that's
Shastry.
right. Yeah.
Yep. Shastry there, having another miserable spin for his race. Not good. I think he's got involved in a very big McLaren, so that will be investigated. Oh
yeah, wait, his tires are blitzed and he's still taking corners at high speed. I don't think that's a match that's very good.
Yeah, it's going to be very demoralizing for him this race, especially. But I don't know why Don is so far back behind Austria there, even though Austria was making some mistakes. Now we see
another double waved yellow, maybe Austria again. Oh no, that's Helium dropping down, or Cuba Abi. Wait.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cuba Abi is dropping down this thing. Can we ride on board Cuba?
Yeah, he spun, I think. Spun on the exit, I think.
Spin, but he has no visible damage, and I think that's not going to be a safety car because he's continuing with his race.
Yeah, that's not going to be a safety car, but another unfortunate incident for another top driver. My predictions are going completely out in, as I said before the race. But Tanish still keeping up with Envy, trying to fight him for the win. But he has 9 seconds, so I don't think he's gonna win. But let's see what he's gonna do. He's still gonna fight. If I was in position, I would do the same because there's no point in dropping back and just sitting behind, even though I know I'm gonna not win. Tanish, I think, has good enough pace to battle with him, and that's what right now. And we go take it outside line. Yep.
And he sticks it through this corner, staying very close to the inside. And Dawn, I think his race he knows has gone to shit, so he just put on a new set of tires and just blitzed a lap.
Yep, he is going for the fastest lap, but I think it's a bit too early. I would say for the fastest lap, but I think he just wants to get on the soft tires and just forget about the miserable race he had so far.
Yeah. So I think the biggest losers till now have been biggest losers on incidents. I think has been Dipanshu, Nomo Pro player, because he was riding so well until he got that tap from Envy, and then he dropped down the field. I think he was battling all the way up with SD when that happened, and now he's fallen down the pack.
Yep, these guys continue to battle with Anish actually staying ahead of VS the last time. But Kapil must. Oh, we see.
And that's double break yellows and STS DNF. Is there going to be a safety car? Can we ride on board Akash or Oxygen, someone behind SD, to see what has happened to SD? And that's a virtual safety
car. So what's interesting? Let's see what's gonna happen if anybody's gonna pit out.
Oh no, that's a full-on safety car.
Yeah, that's a full safety car. Wow. Interesting turn of events.
I think it's soft runners' time to shine right now. Oh, Tanish capitalizing, gonna go into the pits, stick on a new set of softs.
And not doing so. Is that a mistake from Envy? They are not pitting during the safety car period. Kapil pitting as well. I think all of them softs now, but Envy is not going to do that. Meanwhile, I think McLaren's going to stay out, gain those positions. Yeah, they're staying out. Perfect strategy for them, I think.
Oh, Tanish putting on a set of mediums because I think he's already worn out all of his soft tires. So if Tanish can make them work, he can definitely be in a position to win the race.
Yeah, but he still has 9 seconds. He can't get rid of that. So
yeah,
he has to, like, the top 3 has to pull away and create some gap for Tanish to have any chance of getting some good points in this race, to be honest.
This is the race on its head completely. Now we're looking at completely different prospects to win, and now that throws in all of the people who were all the way behind.
Harry gets a drive through. Ooh, that's not good at all for Harry. He's already back in the last positions, and now he gets a drive through as well.
Looking objectively at the first top 5, I think Kapil has top P5 and he's on absolutely brand new softs with no penalties.
Yep, definitely. I think Envy still has an advantage, to be honest with you, because he has 3 cars between himself and Kapil, and one of them is Tanish. So Kapil needs to be on the limit every single corner once the safety car comes to get behind our Envy as fast as possible, because he has the fresh tires. He needs to use them before Envy gets away too far. You see all the drivers stacking up behind the safety car here, and Helium pushing to catch up with Stack, or the queue rather.
I think there's no chance for Envy right now because Aradhya is on 5 lap old softs which are being caressed under the safety car. So I think he will have faster tires coming in to the last few laps. What do you think?
We see some interesting tactics there. Tanish got past both the McLarens. How did that happen? And now both of them are repassing him.
Yeah,
but he only let one of the McLarens through. Oh,
early braking. So some sketchy tactics there, if I say so. If I do.
Yeah, this game is actually a mess in terms of safety car, because if you accidentally get past someone, you can actually stay ahead. So it might mess up some other people's race.
That's against the thing on the IRC rule books.
Yeah, it's definitely against the rules. So you should not overtake under safety car under any circumstance, pretty much. But we have to review the footage to see what happened there. We don't know exactly because we weren't on board at the time. But right now, Tanish seems to be ahead of Wilster G and Kapil as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really it's not going to be great for Envy, because if all of the guys are on fresh softs, he's going to drop like a stone.
But
through
the thing is, McLarens don't have the pace. I think, in my opinion, I don't even they're a match for Envy, to be honest. I think only Tanesh and Kapil have a chance of fighting with Envy. No offense to the McLarens, but from what we've seen in the
Tanish has
race,
absolutely no chance because of his penalties. So
yeah.
I think, contrary to your belief, I believe the McLarens do have pace. They made the mediums work early in the race, and I think they can again now.
Kapil is be, as I said, on the limit every corner, because there's only going to be, I think, 4 laps after this lap. I think this is going to be the lap where safety car comes in, because all the drivers formed up in the queue.
I
So this,
believe in Kapil.
yep, let's see what's going to happen, because Kapil drove an excellent race until he did that. He tried to do that overcut on Envy, which just did not pay off
Safety car in this lap.
whatsoever.
Safety car in.
Yeah,
Now
safety car in this lap.
these are the 4 laps to be in here, folks. You're in for a ride now.
Yep. Let's see what's gonna happen. Hopefully, no big incidents, and everyone races cleanly for this final few laps. Almost a sprint race at the end of the race, as we see here, and we creating a big gap to the safety car, as we see safety car going into turn, penultimate corner there, filling into the pits right now, I think, and we has the charge to lead them.
He can pull away at any time he wants. It's him controlling the pace on this restart. I think he might blitz it at the end, like at the very end. I don't think he's gonna go for it right now. And he's
Gone.
And he's gone.
He's gone. And McLaren's, yep, as I said, I don't think they have the pace. Let's see. It's just I'm overestimating.
And
but
Kapil might go for a move on to Wilster.
Yep.
Into turn 1, yes, Kapil
Kapil makes the move and sticks it. Hopefully, it doesn't get repassed by the McLaren, because he needs to keep that position to have any. And Kapil using all his ERS, McLaren trying to stay behind. Tanish gets past the McLaren. Even on the medium tires, he seems to have the pace to get past the McLaren here. Let's see what Tanish can do with the new mediums compared to Envy. And Kapil needs to be the man to be looked after right now. Let's see how he cuts that gap right now.
And Tanish, Envy actually surprisingly still staying in front, even from Tanish on the new mediums. I think it not be long until he is passed, because of
they definitely have to battle right now. I think there's going to be a battle between them. But yeah, we see in the midfield, Moto and Austrian might places, as we were talking. But
Kapil is closing the gap rapidly on Aradhya. I think he might catch him into turn 3 on this lap.
I think they both have going to battle simultaneously into turn 3 perhaps. Aradhya gets a time penalty. That's very unfortunate for him, so he's not going to finish on as of right now. Kapil needs to get past as well.
I think he might prepare his exit. That looked like a clean exit for Kapil. Maybe into this turn. And Akash running Moto Moto wide in turn 3. But Moto Moto keeping his ground, and let's hope for no contact. And Tanish gets past Envy for the lead, and I think Kapil also is trying, but kind of had to stick behind Aradhya for that.
Now it's a crucial time for Kapil actually to get past as soon as possible, because Envy is right there in like 9/10 ahead of him. So Kapil needs to use his tactics a bit.
Kapil really needs to get his move on. Getting past Envy is the race win for Kapil. So as soon as he can do that, that's it for Kapil. He's
Yep, as we see, we have 3 laps left. We're at lap 34, and DRS is actually enabled. You see a yellow flag. I think that's someone spinning in the last corner, perhaps. Alpha Tauri, I believe, Kubarabi.
And I think we done about Kapil, please, because I think he might be able to get past Aradhya Gupta and going
Oh,
around the
Aradhya on the
outside,
inside.
and Aradhya, I think they may have had some contact, but
Yeah,
Kapil,
but Kapil get past. That's the important thing.
and now 7 tenths between Kapil and the win of this race.
Yeah,
Uh,
as we see NV struggling to break that car and slow it down because of those very old medium. So Kapil on brand new soft tires, almost reminiscent of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix from the IRL season last year, with
yeah,
Kapil on the brand new softs chasing down NV. I think he's going to get past very soon. Now let's see.
maybe into turn 3 in the next lap. I think he might have had a look down the inside completely.
See yellow flag. I think that's an air goal.
Up and away with yellows.
I don't think it's relevant for this fight right now, but let's see.
Yeah.
Kapil, very low on ARS actually, but I don't think what the ARS level of
I
NV
think
is.
25% should be
Yeah,
enough.
Tanish gets another penalty, so he has no chance absolutely now, unless these two crash, to have any chance of that.
I doubt he has any chance in the top 5. And Kapil using his better judgment to stick behind, maybe preparing the exit going into
Yeah,
the start.
he still has DRS, so you can use that. But Kapil is playing with the fire here, going to the last lap.
And he isn't going to get past here. He's
Too far behind. Yep.
far behind, yeah. And
He's sticking behind, so it's just one more lap after this lap for Kapil to do it. But he has the soft tires, but if he's too hesitant to make the overtake or get past, then we don't know. NV might have chance.
I doubt he's going to do that. Kapil is person with fire in his belly. I think he
Yep.
can.
NV definitely seems to have raw pace, but no amount of raw pace is enough at this level to substitute for the brand new tires compared to the very
It's
old
about
ones.
this exit determines the race.
Yep, definitely. You see Kapil preparing the exit very well and squarely, but let's see if he has the others as well.
Get it. I think he can get NV. I think
Yeah,
he can get
he can,
Moving
and
on the
he.
outside, maybe if he can stick it, and he does. He is
It-
past NV in this last lap of the 36 lap
NV,
race.
NV gets the DRS though, and let's see what's gonna happen. Kapil has to defend very
Kapil has to
aggressively
go
here.
all the way to the inside, all the way to the inside. and
Kapil's
break
Kapil's
it.
light is flashing as well, so he's out of DRS completely.
So
Same
is
goes for
NV.
NV. Yeah,
And if he stays, if he drives clean to the next few corners, I think that's going to be it for. That's going to be it for.
yep. Kapil is actually pulling away right now as we see, so he's actually hitting the gap. We go to the last few corners. Tanish actually going through penalty guard corners, but he's not the winner of the race. I don't think so. Even with the some maybe few penalties, but Kapil seems to be getting into the finish line, and he actually finishes in P1. That's a
Race
great
and
thing.
Aradhya is P2, but then Wilster displaces Aradhya, and the podium is Kapil.
Moto is actually P5. Very interesting there.
Great recovery from Moto Moto.
Yeah, but Kapil just driving an amazing race. Apart from that blunder, you could say in terms of strategy, that's a very intense race from top two guys there. And congrats to Winster as well for getting onto the podium and staying consistently in that positions and getting on the podium. As we see Akash rounding off the top 15, I believe, trying to end the race here. But yeah, there's a very good amount of talk to be had with the top few people, but also a lot of disappointments with the other few guys like Banath and Harry, Don, whoever not.
And yeah, I think that's it for the racing. And I think Banath finishing P11 there, just falling short of the points after a great stint on the final soft run, but just not meant to be on this first race of
As we
Tier-1.
expected, yeah, it's very hard this year, and racing as well is very intense. So the mistakes happen quite often, but as we are picking up the trophy for his victory in race 1 in Tier-1 for season 8. We're gonna have all the podium contenders in the VC soon for their podium interviews, but let's look through the table now to see who finished where. You see the top 10 rounded out by Dwajin. Surprisingly, Dwajin actually made 2 points. But I think there's going to be some few investigations that definitely going to happen after the race. some videos popping up here and there about potential dangerous driving or something like that. But yeah, there's gonna be a handful for the stewards.
Yeah. So we're just trying to get the race winners into the race podium finishers into the commentary box. What? Well, how do you think that race was, Kaushik?
That was very entertaining. I don't know how it was for the viewers, but for us to commentate on, I think it was very. We have almost consistently hit 100 viewers, so we hope all the 100 guys enjoyed that race because we. I think the top three finishers definitely did as well. We're still waiting for them to come. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it.
I think we have Wilster G, our P3 finisher, in the commentary box with us. So you can take it away.
Yep. Wilster, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep. Congrats on the podium, man. That's a P3 for you in race one. How was the race? Explain. Let's let us know how you feel on that podium.
Honestly, that was really tough race. A good start to the season opener, honestly, with a 3-4. Of course, could have been a 3-4 anyway. With Tanish's penalty, I was definitely struggling a lot. Aradhya had a lot of pace. I was struggling the whole race, trying to keep up. But yeah, medium soft strategy definitely worked out.
Yep. You guys did an amazing job. Both the McLarens were fighting it out till the end of the race. That was very interesting to watch because you guys just kept it consistent throughout the whole all the laps. Talk us through if you had any team play going or you were in VC or something, or just racing your
No,
own races.
we just decided that if the other guy thinks he's faster, he can just go. So Aradhya and I weren't in any VC. He just slowed down and let me by. And when I had no ERS, I just let him by. So it was
Wow.
just consensual. We just made past each other.
Yeah, amazing strategy there, but very good team play. And you seem to be the one. Congrats to you. Any more to add, Alpha? Uh, Alphabot seems to be not there with us. But let's move on. And
Oh,
once again,
sorry.
congrats to you, Wilster. Let's move on to Envy here for our second place finisher. Congrats to you for that second place, but I think you were hoping for a bit more considering your pace. But still, congrats to you. Talk us through what happened there.
No, so the virtual safety car came out first, so I didn't really think of pitting, and then I did not realize it switched to a safety car, so I was like, "Yeesh, I should have pitted." I guess that was the point where I was like, "Yeah, uh,
Yeah,
winning,
definitely.
winning the race is gone."
Yeah,
Try
but
to
look,
defend against a couple. I did try to defend against him, but
Even
he was
then,
pushing.
after on old tires, you still did defend for about a lap and a half before getting past on the last lap. So
Yeah,
props to you. Great race pace. I think you were the fastest person on the field today.
thanks.
yep, definitely the fastest, I think, in my opinion. But a very unfortunate call. I think he might have. Did you look consider it as just VSC, or did you know that it was VNSC as
I
well?
did not know it was a safety car until I reached turn one. I'm like, "Oh, it's a
Uh,
safety car."
yeah,
Yeah.
that's very unfortunate. It happened to me as well. It happened to a lot of guys as well. Just need to pay a bit more attention. But yeah, but still, congrats to you. You gave us an amazing race together with Kapil. So congrats to you as well.
Yeah,
But we move on. Yep, we move on now to our race winner in on the first race here. Congrats, Kapil, because that was an amazing race. And we especially, you guys were fighting out throughout the race. At one point, we thought you lost the race when you tried to do the overcut on him, lost the positions. But still, the safety car came out at the right point, and you made the right call. You won it. So talk us through that.
I am actually quite sad that the safety car came. I mean, yes, it came in my favor. No denying that. But I was very interested to see how the strategy would work out. I wasn't really gaining on envy, but I could start to see that they were not gaining on me as of lap 28 or 29 when Tanish and Envy were. I'm not sure if it was synchronized slipstreaming like me and Envy did in the start of the race, but as a result, I So we were just in that stage where my tires were starting to reap its benefits slowly and steadily. At that point, when the safety car came out, we were equal on pace. I didn't see Envy losing me anymore. I didn't see Tanish, like extending the gap. So, of course, I would not have made 6 seconds. That's foolish to think with my pace compared to Envy. But I was curious to see how we would catch up to the soft runners, so, or if the soft runners behind us would catch up to that. Like that was what was keeping me alive. And then after the safety car came, okay, I mean, yeah, I'm terribly I'm really sad to hear that NB missed out. The game can do really silly things. Why can't I just pop out a safety car? It can compute it in a nanosecond. But for the FX, it brings out the VSE first and then the safety car. Unnecessary, if you ask me. So I think NB got caught out in that. Spanish pit, however, and he went on to like kudos to him, but obviously keeping it clean is something else. Love that last lap. I was, of course, MV styles were way older, so it was not like I could not make the move on lap 34 when I reached him. We obviously see that he's not pushing, just trying to stay ahead, and in many respects, even give the opportunity for me to take the lead in lap 35. Just stood back and waited. So there was a lot of drift and coasting in the last lap to the point where if there were two more laps in all of this, maybe Aradhya would come back into the fight and put a little more pressure. Unfortunately, I was a little too far behind, so I was able to kind of cleanly make the move into turn three. That was interesting. I like that one, but yeah, incredible pace all round to Envy, and yeah, great start of the season to me. Appreciate
Yep,
it, guys.
amazing race there from Kapil and amazing sportsmanship as well. But I just have one question to ask you. How much practice did you do before coming to? All I wanted to know.
I probably have done more than last season. I can tell you that much. Last season was maybe 20
Exactly,
minutes of
because
practice for
yeah,
the
last season you were
quality,
just
or even during the quality itself. I definitely did do it, but in all honesty, with a little bit of, I would say, if I had someone who understood setups better, I can easily find 6 or 7 tenths. My car's still not up to speed, but then that's the case with everybody else, right?
yep.
But I was surprised to see that the fastest lap was only a 3.8. I felt my lap quali lap was a joke. And in all honesty, I was surprised to
This
see
track is
P3,
very
but
hard.
yeah, I kind of figured that it was all down to the consistency. Turn one is
Yep.
horrid. Turn three, you can't get the traction down. So I guess that's that. Yeah, fun race all in all.
Yep. Thank you for that. And congrats to all of the guys once again. Our race winner Kapil, our P2 finisher NB, and our podium rounding off with Will Sturgey here. So congrats to all of you guys. And yep, that's it for a podium interview now. And
Thank
thanks
you.
for watching.
Thank you for watching, guys, and thank you guys for a great race. Hopefully, the season continues like today's races. But yeah, that's it from our side. I think you guys might have enjoyed those last few laps, and that's it. Good night, guys, and take care.
Yeah, we're done.